Okay, Unit 2 and Unit 3. So the first few are going to be about mean absolute deviation. So what is the mean absolute deviation of the numbers in the list? Okay, so there's 3 steps on mean absolute deviation. Step 1 is to find the mean or the average of all of these numbers. So we're going to add all of these numbers up and divide by how many there are. So 32 plus 43 plus 38 plus 28 plus 51. So when I add them all up, I get 192, and then I need to divide by how many numbers I have in the list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, divided by 5. So 192 divided by 5 gives me 38.4. Okay, that's just step 1. So that's not my answer. I need that number, but that's not my answer. Step 2, I am going to use in my calculator the button Math. So Math, arrow over to num, and abs for absolute, and it looks like these 2 little bars. So in those 2 little bars, I'm going to take my mean from step 1, the 38.4, and I'm going to subtract each number from my list. So on the first one, that's minus 32. So 38.4 minus 32 gives me 6.4. And I'm going to keep going down the list. So 38.4 minus 43, I get 4.6. And if you want, you can mark them off if you have this in person. 38.4 minus 38, I get 0.4. Next one, 38.4 minus 28 gives me 10.4. Then I have 38.4 minus 51, 12.6. Okay, so that is step 2. I subtracted my mean from all of these numbers. Now my last step, step 3, is to do the same thing I did in step 1, but with the numbers from step 2. So I'm going to add all of these numbers up. So 6.4 plus 4.6 plus 0.4 plus 10.4 plus 12.6. When I add them all up, I get 34.4. But now I need to divide because I'm not done. And there were 5 numbers in that set. Okay, so 34.4 divided by 5 gives me 6.88. So B. Okay, mean absolute deviation on number 2. Same thing. Step 1, add them all up. So 63 plus 70 plus 68 plus 73 plus 58 plus 67. When I add them, I get 399, and I need to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is 66.5. Okay, step 2, the mean absolute deviation, or the absolute deviation, I'm sorry. Subtract 66.5 from every single number in the list. So on math, num, abs, 66.5 minus 63 gives me 3.5. 66.5 minus 70. $3.5. That's okay if you get the same number. 66.5 minus 68 is 1.5. 66.5 minus 73. I don't know if I already said that. 6.5. That's weird. Next one, 66.5 minus 58 is 8.5. And the last one, 66.5 minus 67 is 0.5. And then your very third step, I'm going to let you handle this on your own. Add all of these up. And then divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So we're going to add and then divide by 6. Question 3. Carnival M charges an entrance fee of $5. $5 and a 65 cents per ticket for the rides. Carnival P charges an entrance fee of $10 and 45 cents per ticket. Okay. So we've got one side of my equal sign. These numbers go together. I've got 5 and I have 0.65. And we're adding those together because that's the cost to get in altogether. So I need to figure out which of these has the variable on it. So it should be the one that has per next to it. We look for those keywords like per, each, every. So 0.65 should have my x. So in that case, I've got 10 plus on my next line 0.45x. Okay, and we have to go through and solve. So I've got 5, 10. Okay. I am going to, just because I want to get rid of these decimals, I'm going to get rid of one of my variables first. I'm going to get rid of this 0.45. So I'm going to do that by subtracting. So minus 0.45x. I have to subtract it from the x that's over here. Okay, that gives me, let me do this in calculator just so I'm not messing it up. 0.65 minus 0.45. Okay, that's what I thought. But you know what? It's early and you never know. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. And that was a plus sign in front, so 5. Okay, so now I need to get rid of what I can over here. So I can only get rid of the 5, and since it was positive, I'm going to subtract it to get rid of it. So 10 minus 5 is 5. I have to bring down this 0.20x. And then my last step, since 0.20 and it's right by the x, is just multiplication. I'm going to divide it. So 5 divided by 0.20. And 5 divided by 0.20 is 25. So it should be A. Same thing here. You're just solving it. It says what value of x makes it true. I've got 3 x's, and they all have negatives in front. So that's negative 3x. These all seem to be positive. There's no negatives. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So plus 10 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They didn't have negatives, so that's plus 5. 2, 4, 6, 8. And they were negative, so minus 8. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and box in everything I have. My negative 3x with the signs that come right before it. Positive 5x and negative 8. I'm going to go ahead and move my negative 8. I'm going to get rid of it by adding it. And then I'm going to rewrite it over here. So I've got negative, maybe I'll rewrite it down here. I've got negative 3x. I'm going to add it 8 to 10, so that's positive 18 equals 5x. Okay, and then from here it's just a 2-step problem. The only thing you can move is this negative 3x, so do the opposite. Number 5 is the same thing. It's just asking it a little bit differently. The measure of two angles are 5x plus 24 degrees and 9x minus 17 degrees. What is the value of x? You're just solving it. It's the same as a multi-step equation. 5x plus 24 equals 9x minus 17. Okay, so box in everything you have with the signs that come in front. I would get rid of this negative 17 first by adding it. So add it to 24. So 24 plus 17 is 41. Bring down, we got 9x and 5x. Then the only thing you can get rid of is that 5x. You can't move 9, you can't do anything with 41. And then bring down what you have left. So you've got 41 and 4x, and then you will have to divide. 41 divided by 4. On this next one, you're just matching it. So as long as you can match the first couple numbers, then you can really eliminate everything else, usually. Company P charges $3.50 for each trophy and a one-time fee of $25. R charges $7.50 for each, those are keywords, and a one-time fee of $17, which inequality can be used to find X, the minimum number of trophies that can be ordered, so the total charge of P is less than the total charge of R. Okay, so first of all, I need to see that $3.50 and 25 are on the same side of the inequality sign. And with R, it should be $7.50 and 17 together. And so far, that's what it looks like. So I can't eliminate anything from that. Next, I need to see where the variable should go. That's where those keywords come in. So each, per, every, and it said $3.50 for each. So that means my $3.50 should have a variable on it. Okay, and we're adding those together because that's what the charge was. Same for $7.50. It said $7.50 for each. So I need to find, well, from there I can eliminate anything that doesn't have the variable in the right spot. So 350x is not shown on F or G. So those can go. Now H and J are the exact same except for the inequality sign. And they said that P needed to be less than R. The alligator mouth eats the larger side, so that should be H. On number 7, you're solving this one. Also, I would just move your 3. Let's move that 3, combine it with this 3. So you're left with this. And then honestly, I would just plug in your answer choices. Like try plugging in 3. So like 3 divided by 3, if we plug in 3 for x, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then if we plugged it in on the other side, 3 divided by 9 is 0.3 plus 3 would be 3.333. So that doesn't work. Those don't equal each other. Okay, and then keep going. Try the same thing with negative 9. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. And then if you have negative 9 divided by 9 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 6 is 5. Those do not equal each other, so G is out. Okay, then try the next two. You're just plugging in those numbers for x. This one is the same. You're just matching the numbers they give you to the equation and the answer choices. One class is selling tickets for $2.50 each, and they already have $3.50. The other class is selling tickets for $3 each, and they've already raised $2.25. Okay, so $2.50 and $3.50 should be on the same line. So already A is out, and B is out because $2.50 is where the X should be. So it has to be C. Okay, a rectangle's perimeter and its area have the same numerical values. So we've got perimeter, area equals each other. The width of the rectangle is 3 units. What is the length? That's what we don't know. That's our x. So we're going to use these two formulas. So the perimeter formula was 2L plus 2W, but they gave us a number for W. So that would be 2 times 3. Well, so what is 2 times 3? That would be 6. So I'm going to write 6. Then the area formula is length times width. So length times, but they gave us the width, which was 3. So really this is just a equation to solve. And I'll break it down so it looks a little bit easier to see. Okay, I'm actually going to rewrite this. The length times width, I'm going to write it as 3L because that's the same as multiplying, but it just looks more like we would see it as like 3x. That would be the same. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 2L, and it's L because of length. You could make it X. That would probably make a lot more sense, honestly. 3 minus 2, 1. And then 6. So really that's all you had to do. And you could divide, but you would be dividing by 1. And so your answer would just be 6. Same thing on this one. You're just matching it. You're not even solving it. Jerry has a new job and earns a salary of $45,000. Victoria has a new job and earns a salary of $54,000. Jerry, I'm going to go ahead and write this down. So $45,000 for Jerry, $54,000 for Victoria. Jerry receives an increase of $2,500 per year. So there's a key word that tells us that that has a variable on it. And Victoria will receive an increase of $1,500 per year. So really, it's an equal sign since it's an equation. Don't have to worry about inequality. I need to find the ones that match. So 2,500 should have a variable on it. So already G is out. 1,500 should have a variable on it. So J is out. So let's see what the difference is in these two. Okay, F, the only difference is they gave an extra variable to 54,000. On number 11, Julie started with 20 pieces of gum and gave away. So she's not earning, she's giving them away. So instead of adding, we would be subtracting. X pieces. Conrad started with 35 and gave away twice as many, so 2 times as many as Julie did. So this was one you would have to go through and you would solve. And you can put a 1 in front of that X if that helps. Number 12 is another one you're just going to have to go through and solve. If it helps to put a 1 in front of the X, do that. Number 13, which situation can be represented by this equation? 7x plus 1 equals 10x. F, Brody ran at a constant rate of 7 miles per hour. In a race, Candace ran at a constant rate of 10 miles per hour. So far that seems to look okay because both of those numbers have variables on it, and that's what your word problem says. And started 1 mile in front of the starting point. Okay, so there's the problem. They put 10 and 1 together, and that's not what your equation showed you. G, Brody played a game where he scored 8 points per hour. Okay, we don't have 8 in our equation. Brody went to 2 different amusement parks. The first park charged $7 per hour, so that would have an X, and gave a 1% discount for showing a student ID. The other park charged $10 per hour. What is X, the number of hours? I'm going to put a star, but I don't think this is right. First of all, 1% would be written as 0.01, not 1. And if it's a discount, that would mean you're subtracting. So let's check J, because hopefully that one's better. Brody rode a bicycle on 2 different days. The first day he rode 7 miles per hour and started 1 mile from his house. Okay, everything about that matches this. The second day he started from his house and rode 10 miles per hour. Okay, perfect. Solving. Another solving. 18, Lily bought a new Corvette. She made an initial payment of $8,000 and she will pay $655 each month until the Corvette is paid off, which represents the relationship between M, the number of monthly payments she's made, and the total she's paid to the store. Okay, so she paid $8,000 and then $655 each month. So when it's asking for total, let's see, B would be wrong because they put the wrong variable, or they put the variable with the wrong number, so that means D is wrong. The only difference between A and C is that it's either subtracting or adding. It's asking for the total amount paid. So if she paid this and she's paying this, we're putting those together. So we're not going to subtract, we're going to add. 19, company P is $350 for each trophy and a one-time fee of $25. R, $750 for each trophy and a one-time fee of $17. I feel like we've already done this problem. How many can be ordered? So the total charge of company P is less than the charge of R. So P has the 350X because it said for each. R had 750X. So we need to get rid of C, we need to get rid of D because they don't have the variables. So 350X, and it should be less than